Now, one of the things that's important to understand when it comes to manifesting our intentions is that the subconscious doesn't normally change immediately or take immediate action. Now, if we want to use an analogy, we can use the rabbit and the tortoise. Remember the rabbit and the tortoise that had a race? Who ends up winning the race? The tortoise. Now, although everyone would think that the smart money would be on the rabbit, the tortoise wins the race. And this is how our mind works. The conscious mind's like the rabbit. It's constantly jumping and racing all over the place. It jumps to conclusions, and it's always trying to make things happen. Now, that's a wonderful attribute, and I'm not knocking it. The subconscious mind, particularly when it comes to manifesting our intentions, is much more like the tortoise. It takes time to wind up and get things going. But once it's doing its thing, the irony is that the subconscious mind will win the race every time more quickly than the conscious mind ever could. So the smart money's on the tortoise, on the subconscious. The key thing to understand is that you have to allow that subconscious to have a little bit of time to do its work, because it took time for that blueprint that you have right now inside of you to be set. So it takes a little bit of time to allow that blueprint to change. A competent hypnotherapist would be able to change your blueprint much quicker. But we can make up for it by using self-hypnosis and allowing the tortoise to do its thing and to bring us whatever we desire. Now, I know that self-hypnosis can be a powerful tool for change. And if you're interested in self-hypnosis, all you have to do is go on Google and do a search, and there's probably hundreds of them for sale. On the other hand, none of them are tied into a very powerful manifestation training strategy, such as my Secret of Deliberate Creation. Now, what makes the Secret of Deliberate Creation so different? Well, for one thing, I've been investigating and researching and teaching these principles for over 30 years, long before the words like manifestation, law of attraction, the secret were embedded in the public consciousness. So I know it really works. And trust me, hypnosis works. I know that for a fact. So last year I decided that I would add self-hypnosis to my rapid change strategy. And also I would align it with what I teach in the Secret of Deliberate Creation hypnosis. So I call it Deliberate Creation Instant Self-Hypnosis. And I added the word instant for a reason. Deliberate Creation Instant Self-Hypnosis not only teaches you self-hypnosis, but it teaches you how to do it instantly, without me having to take you through this long, boring relaxation exercise every time you want to use it. Initially, I guide you through the steps and I repattern your subconscious blueprint, and it enables you to access the trance state instantly. This is accomplished by using a specific trigger that's built into the method. I just mentioned the word trance, so let's just talk about that for a little bit. What's a trance? A simple definition of a trance is a narrow focus of attention. A more practical definition of trance is our habitual way of focusing on and filtering information and reacting to that information, whether it's real or not. So a trance acts like a filter. People often ask me if I can put them in a trance, and my reply is, you're already in a trance. It could be the trance of happiness, the trance of struggle, the trance of abundance, the trance of poverty, and so on. But what we need to understand is we're always in a trance. I'm in a trance, and so are you. So my reply to them is, what I can do for you is change the trance. But then you're going to be in a new trance. So I often tell people that I'm not a hypnotist, I'm really a dehypnotist. My job is to help people dehypnotize themselves from habits and beliefs that are not getting them what they want. And then change that trance or change that focus of attention from one that works against them to one that works for them. Now the problem with any trance is that a trance doesn't allow us to look at other perspectives or other viewpoints. So this causes us to view our beliefs about the world as, quote, the truth. Now, when you lock onto your version of the truth, your reactions to what happens in your world become predictable and they're automatic because you behave in a way that's congruent with what you believe to be true. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. If you believe it to be true, that's the way you're going to behave. So a large part of the subconscious patterning process, the formation of your trance that I've just described, relates to the beliefs that we developed regarding ourselves. And some of these beliefs result from something called memes. Memes are really idea viruses. They're ideas that replicate. And memes are stored in our brain, and they're passed on through repetitive programming. Now, most of the time, we simply believe things are true because we've been memed. Many of our memes, or mind viruses, have been programmed into our subconscious by our parents, teachers, religion, government, and our peers. And we've never really examined them or even thought about them or how they affect our lives. So the important point here is that just because a meme has infected millions of people and millions of people believe it, it doesn't make the meme a truth. There needs to be a balance of evidence that enables us to differentiate the false memes from the true memes, or at least the beneficial from the harmful. Now, young children are particularly influenced or memed by authorities in their lives. When a parent or a teacher tells a young child that he's sickly and stupid or bad or undeserving, This is downloaded as a fact into the child's subconscious mind. When the church tells them that they're a sinner and they're inherently bad, this is also downloaded as a fact into the child's subconscious mind. These subconscious self-defeating beliefs are like a chunk of green kryptonite from Superman's home planet. That green crystal that was the one thing, if you've ever read Superman, that green crystal, kryptonite, was the one thing that could strip Superman of his powers. And for us humans, the faulty programming, especially from our childhood, is our kryptonite. Now, kryptonite wasn't evil by nature, but used in the wrong way, it stripped Superman of his powers. And the kryptonite of false beliefs will strip you of your powers as well. And unfortunately, the programming of our childhood is held in our subconscious, and it comes back to plague us as adults, and it robs us of our superpowers. And this is what causes many people to feel stuck and ineffective and victimized, in spite of the fact that their conscious attention is focused on success. See, again, the problem with living in a trance is we don't know that we're in the trance. We think we're thinking, but for the most part, we're not thinking. We're just reacting to life based on our beliefs. And this causes us to act in habitual ways that are in accordance with those beliefs, which are mostly subconscious. Said another way, most of the time you're on autopilot, but you think you're flying the plane. Now, a few moments ago, I talked about the gatekeeper. The purpose of the gatekeeper is to keep you in your current trance. And now, in order to change that trance, we have to get by the gatekeeper. Therefore, your task is to get that gatekeeper out of action or out of commission so that you can go straight to the subconscious where the blueprint is, change that blueprint, and make it richer, healthier, and happier. You want to write the blueprint so that your subconscious attention ends up giving you everything that you want in life. And that's what self-hypnosis, in particular deliberate creation instant self-hypnosis, is designed to do. It gives you the ability to change your subconscious blueprint so that all the energy goes in the direction that you want it to go. And when you do that, life becomes easy, natural, and effortless. No willpower, no forcing, no unpleasantness required. And this is, incidentally, why so many people fail at creating what they desire. It's because they're using the wrong mind to solve their problem. They're using their conscious mind. But if the problem is lodged in the subconscious, then you have to get to the subconscious to solve the problem. See, by going to the place where the problem exists and resolving it, you create true freedom. You just need to know how and where to go inside your mind to make the necessary changes so that you get what you want instead of what you don't want. And you do this by silencing the gatekeeper and then rewrite the blueprint any way you want to. Now, before I go any further, I just want to clear up a few misconceptions about hypnosis, because some people are a little bit concerned about it. They're a little bit nervous. I think they just probably watch too much television. But first of all, hypnosis is natural. It's one of the most natural things in the world. In fact, you spontaneously fall into hypnosis, or what I call little mini trances, throughout the day, even without realizing it. And that's why you have the capacity to change your life. Here's how it works. Things happen in your life that cause you to become discontent. Now, because of the discontent, you decide you want to eliminate or change what you don't want, or better yet, move towards what you do want. This causes you to have little mini trances or hypnosis experiences. And those experiences allow you to begin the process of slowly changing that blueprint. So you repeat these little mini hypnosis trances over a period of time, and your life changes. But again, this is a very slow process. However, this hypnotic phenomena is going on all the time. So the first thing to realize is that hypnosis is actually natural. It's going on all the time. Next thing is you can't get stuck in hypnosis. Hopefully, if you understand it's a natural process, you realize it's impossible to get stuck in hypnosis. How could you do that? You've been in these mini trances through your whole life, and you always come back because your body knows how to do it. Actually, the worst thing that can happen when you're in self-hypnosis, and it's something to look for, is that you can fall asleep. You fall asleep, you have a great rest, and then you wake up refreshed and revitalized. The only problem with that is that you might fall asleep before you have a chance to change the blueprint, in which case you're going to have to do it again. Now, I'm not sure what other self-hypnosis programs teach. However, with deliberate creation instant self-hypnosis, I teach my students how to do it instantly. So this never happens. So for the moment, just realize hypnosis is natural. You can't get stuck in hypnosis. And finally, no harm can come to you while you're in self-hypnosis. For those Freudians among you who think that the subconscious is this pit of evil, seething desires, and they have to be repressed, it's important to understand that the subconscious mind maintains balance and it protects you from harm. And moreover, your subconscious mind protects you from all kinds of things that you're not ready to handle yet. It's been protecting you for your entire life, and it won't stop now. So the purpose of using self-hypnosis is purely to open the door to your subconscious and say, this is what I want. This is the new plan. This is what we want to achieve. And when you're in self-hypnosis, you open the window of opportunity to talk directly to your subconscious mind without interference. And as you know, the subconscious blueprint decides how your life's going to go. Whatever's in that blueprint right now, that's the way your life's going to go until you change it. However, that blueprint has to be protected by the gatekeeper. When the gatekeeper gets thrown offline or distracted, that's when the changes can be made. So what's happening is that the very same mechanism that's protecting us from leaping off a tall building and killing ourselves, the gatekeeper in other words, is the same mechanism that rejects all other ideas for change automatically. So the purpose of self-hypnosis is to silence the gatekeeper at a time when you have the intention to make positive changes in your life. And it focuses exclusively on creating a window of opportunity, opening that window inside your mind, in which the silenced gatekeeper cannot interfere, and at that time you impress anything that you want in your subconscious mind. And if you use that with the secret of deliberate creation, it's going to activate a natural mechanism, and that's called the power of intention. In addition, I mentioned earlier that deliberate creation, instant self-hypnosis, sets up an artificial mechanism or trigger. And it triggers this natural process so that you can do it anytime you want. You can enter the trance level almost instantly. And when you do, you can do it wherever you want. You can do it when you want to. So at that point, you have true power, because your intention will be coupled with the window of opportunity opening up inside your mind, which allows that intention to go straight through to the subconscious, rewrite the blueprint, and you get your heart's desire. I love self-hypnosis. Now, it's important to understand this, that when you use self-hypnosis or even affirmations, you need to be aware of something called the access state principle. So it's another title. What it simply means is this. Basically, whatever mood you happen to be in when you use affirmations or even self-hypnosis, that new instruction for your subconscious is encoded by your mood. So whatever mood you have, that message that you give to your subconscious mind is encoded by that mood. Think of your mind like a house full of rooms. Each room is a mood. You have a happy room, you have a sad room, you have an angry room, you have a frustrated room, and a so-so room, and so on. Whenever you're happy, whatever experiences you have, all of your happy memories get put into that room. So when you walk into your happy room, you can remember all those things that make you happy, and you remember them easily because you're in the happy room. All the things in your sad room, which are at the other end of the house, are very difficult for you to remember. And if you recall them, they're kind of vague and distant. Now, the reverse is also true. We've also had times when we're feeling a little bit depressed, which means we're in the sad room. And while we're in the sad room, we remember all the things that make us sad. In fact, when we're in the sad room, we tend to remember all the things that we did to mess up our lives, just to prove how sad we really should be about our lives. Now, if anyone tries to tell you to remember all the good and happy memories while you're in the sad room, what happens? You reject them. Now, why do you reject them? The gatekeeper's trying to protect you because it thinks you want to be in the sad room. So it keeps you in the sad room and only lets you remember those unpleasant memories. So how do we use this to change the blueprint? Very simple. When we access our subconscious, we create a state or a room for the gatekeeper. This state opens the window of opportunity, puts the gatekeeper to sleep while you do the change work, and then creates the perfect conditions for your intention. And that way, you decide to reset some part of your subconscious blueprint. So all you have to do is you walk through your house, open the door to the special room, the gatekeeper falls asleep, and like a hypnotist, you put it into a trance, you do your work, you walk out, the gatekeeper wakes up. As far as he or she is concerned, nothing's changed. But he or she is now protecting the new blueprint with as much vigor and commitment as he or she did to protect the old one. See, unfortunately, most people try to change their subconscious blueprint. They're usually in a state of fear, so they're using a fear state. They're trying to change something that they want to get away from. Could be a habit or a fear, relationship situation, health situation, financial situation. So their state or their mood is fear-based. They're trying to move away from what they don't want instead of going towards what they do want. And this fear-based state only serves to reinforce their current situation because they're in the wrong state. I thought you would enjoy this metaphor. A man gets up in the morning, he takes a shower and he shaves and eats breakfast and he climbs down the stairs and he boards the bus and he goes to the Santa Monica beach, which is about a 45-minute ride. And he steps off the bus and he feels the beach under his feet and he walks down to the beach, and every day he goes to the beach and he looks for the Statue of Liberty. And lo and behold, there's no Statue of Liberty. And as night falls, he looks over the water and he sees the Santa Monica Pier and he turns and spins around and he sees the Hollywood sign. Then he boards the bus, he's disappointed again because he didn't find the Statue of Liberty. So he's been doing this for years and every day does the same thing.